14. Let's continue on with the Hildibrand questline. The gazebo to call our own. This makes me wonder if the Japanese writer who wrote this questline was obsessed with the word gazebo. Okay. Yeah, you want to meet your heresy quota. I got it, man. Seems like you're conflicted, though. You referred to him as a boy, then you had to call him a mammoth twice. Depending on cutscenes, this might be shorter than an hour. Not because we're going to finish the Hildibrand line or anything, but I don't have... Well, I do have a full hour, but I would prefer to keep it around 40 minutes. But, I mean, if we're in the middle of a cutscene come the 40-minute mark, I won't care. I'll just keep going. That's just the way it is sometimes. Cashew, stop calling him a girl. The black mage he's based off of sired children, for God's sakes. Tax evasion? Evasion? Wait, before we get into that. Family crest, huh? Where's our gazebo, Papa Hildy? The world is our oyster, huh? Whither the wild rose blooms. I didn't know you were in the signs of the seventh dawn, Hildibrand. Unless that's like reference to a play or something. I mean, it's actually just a reference to Final Fantasy II. That was the password or the phrase. Wild rose to get into the Hilda's rebellion. My boots are red, but they're slightly off red from my red mage AF, and it bugs me. But that's the closest I can get with the dyes available. Warg. Oh, are you now, huh? Since when? Oh, it's Hildibrand's mom. Mummy! Ahem, Mother Dearest, I was under the impression you had departed for Ul'dah. And leave my beloved boy to keep on playing at being an inspector as well as a father to a bloody mammoth. Bugger that. You're coming home right this instant. How can you say such things? It is my life's calling to be an inspector, and Gigi is my son. He is a Manderville man. Grand. Grand as it is to see you. You have come at a most inopportune time. The young women of Ishgard are in need of a champion to defend them from fiends most foul. Come, Nashu, come, Gigi. We shall demonstrate to my mother our peerless investigative skills and bring these criminals to justice. I don't know why Cyr's taken aback by this point. He's watched Hildibrand's antics for at least 6 quests now. Thal's balls, he's stubborn. Probably gets it from his sorry arse of a father. Are you sure about that, lady? Also, she seems to have a rather high amount of blush on her cheeks this quest line time. But maybe she always had that. Either way, it's tacky as fuck, and I kind of don't like her character design. But that's just me. I tend to not like the Midlander woman character design, with the exception of like, I think there's a couple of faces I actually like from it. One of them, my friend on Sargatanas uses. Oh, well, it's gone to waste, huh? If I kind of go through these women's dialogue way too fast, and I apologize, but... If knights aren't supposed to, you know, then why are they so popular with the highborn ladies? Forbidden... Haven't you ever heard of forbidden fruit, Nashu? Humans... It's human nature to want to have what you can't, or what you're not supposed to. Simply for the fact that someone told you, you're not supposed to have that. Or you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, 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 yeah. That grandmama over there is staring at us. Now, Gigi, a gentleman must be more careful with his words. First of all, you have only one grandmother. Second, and this is tremendously important, never ever call her that. At least, not yet. Promise? Yes, Father, I promise not to call Grandmama Julian Grandmama Julian. Or Julian, or... Greetings, milady. Boy, ain't you a charmer. And there I was thinking I might have to rip your bloody head off if you said the G word one more time. Like that, Papa Hildy? Ah, my faithful assistants. Have you gleaned any new information? Nah, we just met the Heavenswords fan club. And these two women were telling me all about what they'd do if they cornered Sarah. Whew. Is this the best you can do, then? Bloody oaths and girlish fantasies, and you call yourself a Manderville man? I assure you, Mother, we are only just getting started. The tapestry of lies and deception behind which the truth hides is oft unraveled with the tug of a single loose thread. I say, young lady, I would beg of a moment of your time. Young lady. Somehow I doubt that young lady was targeted by the charlatans we seek. Ambitious crone? Really? Oh. Aye, 'tis true. I was taken in by the false promises of those awful, awful men. Long have I yearned for a chance to meet Sir Velguin, so when they said I finally could, I didn't hesitate for even a moment. But when they escorted me to the manor, undid the blindfold, and I looked on the hideous faces of those so-called grandsires, I screamed and fled. They were gone when I returned with the watch, but their neighbors said they had overheard them speaking about seeking shelter in a place called Idleshire. I know it's not much, but I pray this information helps you in your search. My lady, I swear to you here and now, I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, shall not rest until these dastardly fiends are punished for their foul crimes. Huzzah! 3 cheers for Papa Hildy! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray. And there you have it. Our quarry can be found in Idleshire. Come, my loyal assistants. Justice waits for no gentleman. That's all well and good, but I never heard of this Idleshire. Have you? Sir, you're a blockhead. You mean we're to travel to the Dravanian hinterlands right now, just like that? You know, knowing that the Mandervilles are, like, ridiculously powerful and essentially, like, supermen, it makes me think, you know, obviously they could do whatever they wanted, and if it made use of their, you know, incredible physiques and sturdiness and whatever, you know, they could be unrivaled warriors, but they choose to ply trades that don't make use of that at all. Like Julianne is a cook, and Godbert is a goldsmith, and Hildibrand wants to be an inspector. They don't want to make use of their natural, actual, like, physical talent. They, or not even talent, I guess, like their physical birthright, I suppose. And they rather use their intellect, which is as limited as anyone else's for some reason. And in Hildibrand's case, well, perhaps it's a higher plane of thinking that I simply can't comprehend. Come to think of it, Yugi is kind of similar to those mammoths that we destroyed in the Anti-Tower. I'm just glad we're no longer pursued by fire-breathing dragons, musket-wielding crabs, and bomb-throwing goblins. You know, the other ones. But they were no match for Lady Julianne and that pan of hers, am I right? I want to see her make the bad gobbies fly again. God's sakes, Hildy, except in Clyde, this lot would be dead in a ditch somewhere if it weren't for me. Nonsense, I would have never let any harm come to my loyal assistant or my beloved son. If I may interject. Now then, let us split up and question the good people of Isleshire. My keen inspector sense tells me that one of them has knowledge of the false knights we seek. No interjections for you, Inquisitor. You and your stupid heresy quotas. Shock! Yes, Loudjox knows of Grand Seers. Sneaky uplanders keep to selves, mingle not with gobby flock, but each to own, Loudjox says. No questions, only jinkly shine. You'd think we'd be able to ask the old Clan Centurio Hunter about it. Oh, you must be talking about them Grand Seers. They drifted into Isleshire some time ago, as I recall. Pay visits to the Great Library, though I couldn't tell you why. Exceedingly experienced treasure hunter. Could it be? Look, it's that same old woman, again. Oh, I know all about the Grand Seers. They keep to themselves in that building over there, south of the round spot. You'd best watch out, though. They're a dangerous bunch, liable to kill you for looking at them cockeyed. It's entirely possible that I've gone completely and utterly mad, but are you perchance the long-lost twin sister of an Ishgardian noblewoman? What? Look behind you, a three-headed Gubu! She's even got the same flowers in her hair. Because you haven't seen the last of that old woman. She's probably one of the 3 Grand Seers. Atari Sternberg. Yeah, you look like you're like a... Ah, why would you ruin Shiva's look with heterochromia? Come on now. Whatever. Some people are obsessed with heterochromia. They think it looks neat or cool or unique. But the problem is when you play an MMO and you think, oh, that looks cool and unique. Guess what? There's like 5 million other people who did the same thing. What's kind of funny is that by trying to be outlandish and cool in MMOs, you're usually more unique if you just stick to something that's kind of like in basic bitch territory, which is sort of an interesting conundrum. But whatever. People can do what they want and enjoy what they want. I'm just giving you my 2 cents. And as we all know, 2 cents is not very valuable, especially with inflation. As I live in shock, Hildibrand, Heliodor, Maximilian Manderville. Could that be? I say, could that be Slow Fix Coin Toss? Do you know this Gabi, Inspector? I most certainly do. Why, Master Slowfix was my very first employer. Shock. When traveling through Thanalan long ago, Gabi Flock was waylaid by Uplander bandits. With no Jinglish eye to pay brass blades, we had no way to backtake goods. Until we make busy deal with Gentleman Uplander, that is. With fastness, he finds Uplander bandits and brings much bangy boom, and returns to goodly Gabi's missing goods in great justice. Henceforth, Slowfix gains new appreciation for Uplanders, but for chance encounter with Gentleman Uplander, he never conceives of egalitarian utopia. One may even claim Hildy a founding father Rattleshire, with metaphorical tongue flaps, that is. Oh, the memories. It was a near thing, for the bandits were clever enough to see through my ingenious disguise as an innocent milkmaid. But in my haste to escape, I tripped over a barrel of fire sand, and as they say, boom gobby doom. My son Gigi has grown quite fond of your magnificent city, and so I should like to stay here with him and my assistant for a time. We would not require much in the way of accommodations. A humble gazebo, for example, would more than suffice. Why settle for gazebo when perfectly good estate right behind you? Residents of buildings in arrears, and Slowfix happy to evict them. What does it mean by arrears? I don't... Fraud? In Slowfix is egalitarian utopia? This he will not abide. All more reason to let Gentleman Uplander and his flock stay instead of Grandseers. No need for Jiggly Shine either. It's not exactly a gazebo, though. I think it was at college, but it might have been Boy Scout camp. There was some place that had a gazebo that me and a group of people would meet in for a lot of our meetings and things. It was an old brown gazebo. There was also a gazebo in the Navy that was a designated smoking area. And while I don't really like smoking, I would go out there occasionally with my friend while he smoked. And there's something really quaint about a gazebo covered in ash. I was so busy yakking, I lost the plot. Oh, that's kind of adorable. Well, the Grandseers are obviously wise to us. I wonder if that drawing stays on the wall. I just gotta remember this position. 6.3, 7.9. Okay. Oh wait, let's talk to people. Let's talk to people. And Milady Julian. Don't trust anyone over 60. You tell me I can't trust my own dad? The Grand Bloody Seers, come on, they're getting away. How fast could they possibly get away? They're old as shite. Are bagpipes? I guess bagpipes are really close to a synthesizer if played in a certain way, because that like the bagpipe part of Idleshire almost sounds like a synthesizer to me. Maybe it's a synthesizer imitating bagpipes. Although there's no reason that they couldn't have recorded bagpipes, it's just... Spare the flaming rod, spoil the milksop. Oh, they're old as shit. Slayer of 1,000,000 worms, the silver spear which hath pierced the very heavens. Orland! Master of magics, ancient and awesome, the divine hand which hath defeated all maladies save senescence and incontinence. Who's part? Grandseers, Excelsior! Definitely laugh. Grandsires, Grandsirs. You stand accused of willfully and unlawfully convincing young maids of Ishgard to attend private parties under false pretenses, thereby inflicting upon them terrible financial and emotional distress. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, am come on behalf of these poor defenseless innocents, and to see that no others are made to suffer as they did. Now lay down your arms and surrender yourselves into my custody. Ha! The audacity of this boy. You should feel ashamed of your words and deeds. We will rule this day and rule it hard. Gods, how I've missed this. The air streaming past, the blood pumping, the taste of copper on my lips, and slight dizziness. It was on days like this that we met, wasn't it? And then when we soared into those azure skies, we never truly came back down. Do mine eyes deceive? Pigsney of my heart, descended from Helene's halls to guide me to her bosom? My beloved, my everything, long have I waited for this moment. Take me in your arms once more and lift me higher, higher, higher. Higher, higher, higher. I believe he is having a hallucination brought upon by oxygen loss. Orland! 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 Alas, poor Orland. I knew him not in the slightest, but he seemed a decent man. Chicanery and attempted murder notwithstanding. Clyde's just like, holy shit, what the hell? Yep, he passed out from loss of oxygen. Holy shit! Oh. It's also a joke about Dragoon in general. But I've seen this before, all too recently. Yes, anyway, he's only mostly dead. If the Master of Magic's ancient and awesome here acts with all haste, the man may yet be saved. That's you old coot. You just told us that. Oh, you're referring to me. I see. With all haste, was it? Yes. I'll get right on that. Oh, mournful voice of creation, send unto me a creature of the abyss. My thrall to command that I might smite. No, wait, was that good? Let me see. Something of rather less controversial tradition. Yes, something with more pep. A vortex of biting winds to rend the flesh. And smite my foes. Foes? I thought you were friends. Saint Renette bugger me with a bleeding gay bulg. My back! My back! It would seem I've underestimated you lot. That makes two of us? Enough! Leave them be, or do you not care what becomes of this mammoth? Gigi, but when? How? I thought I recognized you. First in Ishgard, then in Alashire. You've been following us since we left the capital. Bearer of the faces fair and fearsome, the midnight shadow which hath deceived kings and queens. Dearest! And yet here you are, so effortlessly and easily lured into our trap. For which we are most grateful, mind. My companions are hardly cut out for the life on the road. All has been in preparation for this moment. The parties, the petty schemes. From the first, the objective of this grand design has been this singular mammoth. I swear to you, if you harm Gigi in any way... We have no desire to hurt the boy, but we require his help to reclaim that which is rightfully ours, our youth. Damn, they're very slowly getting away. Just go and stop them. Papa Hildy! Just run after them. You can run like 82 times faster than that. "12 strike me down for a fool. So desperate was I to seize the Grand Seers that I failed to discern their true intent before it was too late. And now poor Gigi is in their clutches. What if I never see my beloved son again? I suppose we ought to prepare for the worst. They could be halfway to Razat Han by now. I very much doubt that, given that they were moving at an adamantoise's pace. Old Milksop's right. Let's get after the old buggers." That's what my mentor used to call me, among other things. Oh, the memories. I think the next cutscene won't take that long. Ah, see, death stalks us. Hilarious. Where's Hildibrand at? Oh, there he is. We can ambush the Wizened Dragoon, take him hostage, and demand an exchange. Are we gonna have to rub an old man's back? Same way we rub Godbert's back and Hildibrand's back? I think that's what we're gonna wind up doing. Ah, I knew you'd... Wait, who are you again? There's something awfully familiar about those muscular forearms, those strong yet tender-looking fingers. I say, would you be so kind as to massage my shoulders, young man? There's this lingering ache, this tension that Gunspart can't seem to soothe with his magics. Something like that. All the things I do for quests. The old dragoon's soft snoring suddenly stops, and you begin to fear you may have borne witness to his final moments. Leaning closer, you extend a hesitant finger, only to stop short when a sudden spasm signals the resumption of his labored breathing. What are we stealing? Oh, the rest of his armor. With the utmost care, you remove Orlan's sabatons and breeches, leaving the sleeping old man exposed to the elements and at the mercy of the nearby ravenous bears and tentacled moorbulls. May he rest in peace. Good night, sweet prince. Oh, dear. Entrusted to you by its elderly owner that he may receive a vigorous massage, the suit of armor is surprisingly light and reeks of garlic. The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. Capital! Then without further ado, I shall disguise myself as Orland and free Kiki from captivity. But you two look nothing alike. They may be old and slow, but they're not blind. Oh, ye of little faith, you are in for a treat, for you shall have a front row seat to this magnificent display of Manderville guile and subterfuge. Hey, is it time for dinner yet? You just ate, you daft bugger. Where the hell is this Orland? I know he's got to take a piss every hour, but damn it, he could at least be quick about it. The real question is how did Orland's armor fit on Hildibrand? Greetings, fellow antediluvians. I have returned. That's not... I mean... Oh, bollocks. It's about time. Okay, no, that's bullocks. Pack up your things. I want us back on the road in 10 minutes. Before we do that, we must first release young Gigi here. It's his behavior unbecoming a gentleman to keep children in cages. What in the seven hells are you blathering about? He's going to get away. No, he will not. See? Still here, within my care, right then. On a completely unrelated note, I shall now take the boy with me on a brief sojourn into the wilderness. Fury take me, it's working. He's about to walk out of there with Geeky, and they won't even try to stop him. So far, so good. Brr, I'm cold, and there are morbals after me. I'm me, but you're also me. That can't be unless... This is it. This is the moment my life flashes before my eyes. Oh, my dearest Pigsney, we'll be together at last. Why are you hitting your friend? Imposter, how dare you attempt to trick me with a ruse so hackneyed it would make a minstrel blush. Ye gods, I never realized dying would hurt so much. There's our chance, Gigi. Come with me. Vivi, wait! My son, what's gotten into you? Vivi, where have I heard that name before? Remember who you are, Vivi, what you are, a creation of the great Charlian Archmagus Quan. Quan, I was given life by Grandpapa Quan. I remember now, we lived together and he taught me many things about the outside world. What exactly do you remember, my son? Everything, yes, everything. I remember that Grandpapa Quan created me. Then he took care of me, raised me, and that we were very happy. But then he abandoned me. Grandpapa Quan abandoned me. He believed you were flawed, Vivi, that you lacked the power to turn back the hands of time and make him young again. And so in his ignorance he cast you out and died, all alone. To turn back the hands of time? Then what we witnessed in the Crow's Ear with the Duke's priceless vase, that power could be brought to bear on people? But wait, how do you know all this? You wouldn't have possibly been associates with this Archmagus Quan. We found his journals during one of our many trips into the Great Library. Scavenging for valuable relics is one of the few ways we have left to make a living. We are famed heroes of war in our prime, with fortunes to match, but no soldier has the strength to triumph over time, and before we knew it, the hour of the sheath was upon us. Ishgard no longer had need of our services. So we came here to eke out a living, to keep doing what we do best, until our bodies wouldn't let us. Imagine our surprise when we stumbled upon the opportunity of a lifetime. A second lifetime, as it were. A mammoth with the power to take that which was broken, and restore it to its prime state, to turn back time with its temporal magics and give us back our misspent youth. Fury take me. This is also... I didn't even know there was a precedent to determine whether or not this constitutes heresy. We knew where to look, even. With the journals, we determined that the mammoth was somewhere in the Western Highlands. A chance, for a second chance, was within reach. And then we were forced to watch as you imbeciles pulled Vivi from the snow, nearly ruining everything. Vivi, listen to me. Come with us, and we can help you to unlock your true potential. Just think what you could accomplish were you to master your magics. Not only could you make us young again, but you could even have the power to restore life to Archmage's Quan. Impossible. No magic can truly return the dead to us. At best, you can animate a corpse. And I need not review the precepts to declare that the products of necromancy are abomination in the eyes of the Fury. Yigi, wait! What of our adventures? What of our gazebo? You are a Manderville mammoth! You have always been so kind to me, Papa Hildy, and I will forever be grateful for that. But Grandpapa Quan made me. He made me, and I miss him. So even if it fails, I have to try. What are you doing? They're getting away. We have to stop them. Mayhap we must respect Gigi's decision. So that's the end of that chapter, huh? You're giving up and coming back home? I, too, made a decision long ago to become a traveling inspector, and I have ever stood by it. Mayhap it is from this singular stubbornness of mine that Gigi took inspiration. Nay, I cannot abide it. He is my flesh and blood, my son. I dare not let him use his temporal magics to pervert the natural order. Aye, it falls to me, his father, to ensure that Gigi keeps the righteous path and only utilizes traditional methods of zombification to raise the dead. Inquisitor Seer, I must applaud your dedication to your work. I cannot thank you enough for all you have done on our behalf. Yet I fear if we continue as we are, Gigi may be driven to rash action. Therefore, I would ask that you suspend your pursuit of the Grand Seers for a time, that I might be afforded the opportunity to convince my son to return peacefully. Well, seeing as we can only guess the full extent of Gigi's powers, it might prove dangerous to act aggressively should he choose to use them. How much younger would it make them, even if it could, right? Like, there's no hand on a clock that tells you what your prime age, your prime state would be. It certainly isn't puberty. But it certainly isn't your 20s either, because you're not learned and you don't have a fully developed brain until you're a little over 25 and well. I guess we can go back to Foundation. Open up the next quest. Sorry if this Hildibrand shtick isn't your thing. We'll be through it soon enough. I suspect that the Idleshire / Heavensward segment of it will take all next video. And then there will be 2 or 3 videos to deal with the Stormblood portions of it before we get to the trial that we're going to unlock by doing it. So, yeah, there's my brother's ult. He does a lot of chocobo racing. A common pattern with Hildibrand is they seem to always play it up as much as possible because At least they like they told us they're not doing any Hildibrand at all for Shadowbringers, and so far that seems to be true. But like after the Heavensward one, they said they weren't going to do any more at all. But then they went back on their word and did the Stormblood stuff, and so people fully expect them to do more Hildibrand come 6.0. Anyway, I've gone about 10 minutes longer than I want to, so we're about at the 50-minute mark. So yeah, that's long enough for today, and we'll get into the rest of this Grand Sears VV plot next time. So thanks for watching, and stay safe and have a good day.